Welcome to the first episode of Cold Climate, and today I'm going to teach you some basic Python. We're getting some data from a CSV file, and for those CSV files we're going to use real climate data. At the same time, you can learn how to code, and you can learn a bit about the world. So first off, let's go and get that data. Bam! So you just take the link in the description, takes the script CO2 program data, and this gives you data from CO2 sampling sites in the Pacific Ocean. And we're going to get the famous Keeling curve data, what's at the Manual Low Observatory in Hawaii, what's MLO. And that started in 1958. That's a long time ago. By Dr. Keeling. And we just click on that. You can see you have a bunch of different individual files, plus more information about the site. Go down, the one we're going to want today is the in-suite CO2 data, and we're going to take the weekly data. So if you want to click that and download it into a new file, ready to code. So now I'm in Spyder. That's going to be our Python emulator for today. And here, on the left here, we have a script we can write in. On the right, with the console, and above we have the viewer terminal. So we put this, if we save this to the same file, same folder we have the CSV file in. Let's get to that CSV file. So in the terminal, a list all your documents, CD documents, CD where you put them. So I put it in learn code, CD EP1 list. I made a bunch of files there. And what we want is the weekly in-suite CO2 data. So we go there and paste that to the left here, and let's put some brackets around this. And let's call it file. Nice. So we just hit the play button. We now have a string called file. So that's what our CSV file is called. So we have its name. Great. That's the first step. That makes you want to open it and see what's inside and save this data. So for that, we're going to import CSV. And this is the module that allows us to manipulate CSV files. And first, how do you open a CSV file? Well, you just open it. Simple as. Wow. We're going to open it as CSV. I want to put CSV file. That. Double dots. And it's just tabbed it across. And then we're going to go reader equals CSV. Use that module there. Dot reader. CSV file. So if we just run that, not really much happened, but if we go to reader, we have something that the CSV.reader is at blah blah blah. So we're getting there. But there's not really any data we can use yet. So for that, we want to go for each row of this data. So we're going to go for row in reader. Let's go print row. We'll just have a look what's in there. So we're going to do the for loop, and that's going to go through each of the rows in the CSV file and print it. With that, we're like, oh, we got a bunch of files. So let's actually go and have a look inside this CSV file. Documents. Learn code. Episode 1. Weekly in-suite CO2 MLO. And we can see there's just a bunch of stuff before even any data appears. First data is at line 45, and there's a bunch of stuff, citations, sources, blah blah blah. Not really useful for us at the moment. So all we really want here is the dates and the CO2. And that starts at line 45. Let's get back into the terminal. So we want to count the rows. So we set, before this, we set I equals 0. And then after this, we set I equals I plus 1. So for each row, it's going to add 1 from 0. But the thing to note here is that computers don't count from 1, 2, 3, 4. As you see in the CSV file, right? It starts from 1 and it goes down to data starts at 45. In computer talk, it's going to start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. Alright? So we take that row, and we then go row, square bracket 0. That's going to be the first bit. And then row 1 will be the second. That'd be the CO2 data. Alright? Got me. So, we want to start at the 45th row in the Excel file. So that's row number. And with this reader, that's going to be when I equals 44. Or when I is greater than 43. That'd be the 44th one. We say if I is greater than 43. Print the row, and then I accept. But we want to store this data. We don't want to just print it in the terminal. It's not really much use to us. So we're going to make some arrays. So first, dates, just a blank one, and then CO2, another little blank array, square brackets. Now for each of these rows, we're going to go date.append, and we want to add, as we sort of just said, the first part of the row to the date, and then the second part was CO2 data. So we're going to go CO2.append row 0, 1. Now, if we play this, we're going to just comment out the print. We should get some data files. Now, let's see in the terminal. See here, we've got a bunch of data. That the dates and the CO2 doesn't really want to show up, but CO2 with the CO2 file, the CO2 data. But now we have another problem, as this, you can see all this data here, is strings, and it's not a number yet. To solve that, we want to make it a number. We just put a little thing called float above it with some brackets around it. So now if you play this, now we go to CO2, you see it won't have these quotations around it. It'll just be a number. So that means you can actually manipulate it when we put it into a data frame. Which comes to the next step. I'm going to start, because you want to use this data, we want to put it together into one file to make it useful. So we want port pandas, not the cute ones, but the beastly data manipulation module in Python. And then we're going to go PD. We want to make some data. Let's just call it data. PD.data frame. And then we want to, the data we have is the CO2. 2. So here we just did some curly brackets, put some quotation marks, CO2, double dot, and then the CO2 data. And this is going to give us a CO2 column. Above it's going to have a column heading called CO2. And we put comma, and we want to set index equals the date. So that's going to be each of the CO2 data. It's going to have that date. So we're going to run this, and then I'm just going to place data. We can see on the top here, we have the dates for each of them, the CO2 data, and it's got the heading. Great, that's the first step. Next is, again, this dates, so data.index, it's just an object. It's still in string format. It's not a number or some sort of date we can use. So for that, do one more thing, data.index equals pd. To date time. So you want the date, the index of this file, to be in a date time format where we can play with it. So just run that, data.index. Now, instead of being an object, it's a date time 64ns. And what does that mean? That means you put data plot. Bam! You can easily plot a Keeling curve. Well done. that's it for the first episode. So here we learned how to open a CSV file, how to get the data, put it into a data file format, and in the console, with just plot, we can plot the data. But it's not perfect yet, it's a little bit clunky. So if you come back next time, we're going to show you how to give these plots and data a bit more finesse. See you next time in Cold Climate.